Hello, very good morning and welcome to Athavan newspaper highlights. Today Wednesday, 13th of July 2016. This is Edward Didas, the Vasagayam Pillai with the highlights of today's English newspapers. As usual, we have three newspapers for the highlights: Daily Mirror, Daily News and Ceylon Today. Firstly, let's have a look on the Daily Mirror. The main headline says, President to GMOA, no trade pacts without national policy. President Maithripala Sirisena has assured that no international trade agreements with any country would be finalized without upholding a national framework, even if the country was facing severe difficulties economically or politically. Several state institutions to be offered to private sector. Prime Minister says, government will offer several institutions run by the states such as Lanka Hospitals, Hilton and Hyatt to the private sector to convert them into public-private partnerships by the end of the year, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said yesterday. Namal's arrest, joint opposition to complain to Geneva. The joint opposition said yesterday that it would complain to the General Secretary of the Inter-Parliamentary Union in Geneva, Switzerland over the arrest of its MP Namal Rajapaksa. Gota's security reduced from 50 to 25. The army contingent provided for former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, numbering 50, had been reduced to 25 from yesterday and they had been replaced by the police STF. This had been done following a decision taken by the Security Council. It has also been decided that in the near future, the remaining army cadres would also be replaced with the STF cadres. US will continue to support Sri Lanka in economic development. Biswal. US Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs Nisha Biswal said yesterday United States would continue to support Sri Lanka as it takes meaningful and concrete steps in response to the concerns of its people related to democratic governance and advancing respect of human rights for reconciliation, justice and accountability. Secondly, let's move to Daily News. The main headline says, firm steps to stabilize prices. Long-term control on 15 essential food items. Informal economy to be integrated to formal supply chain. The government will work to stabilize prices of consumer goods by integrating the normal economy into the supply chain of the formal. We will solve the problems in our supply chain, Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake said. Another highlight says, bus fares up. The cabinet yesterday approved a 6% bus fare hike with effect from August 1. The minimum bus fare will now be increased from 8 rupees to 9 rupees. The decision was made following a report submitted to the cabinet by Transport and Civil Aviation Minister Nimal Sripala de Silva. A report prepared by an expert committee has taken into account views expressed by all stakeholders, including bus association representatives, Transport Ministry sources said. Rapid expansion forces to tackle dengue. The Health Ministry has set up 10 rapid expansion forces to deal with the increasing number of dengue patients. Another 3-day intensive dengue control program will commence from today, 7:30 a.m. from the Maradana Railway Yard, Health Services Director General Dr. Palitha Mahibala said. Finally, let's move to Ceylon Today. The main headline says, reforms and reconciliation. Much work remains. Biswal. Top US diplomats who arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday reminded Sri Lanka that economic development and reconciliation go hand in hand, reserving Shalika grounds for MR rally. Badiuddin's coordinating secretary quizzed. Lalit Abe Gunawardena, coordinating secretary to the Minister of Industries and Commerce, Rashad Badiuddin, has been questioned by the Presidential Commission regarding reservation of the Shalika grounds Narhen Pitta for an election propaganda meeting of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa without the stipulated advance payment being deposited during the January 2015 presidential election. President leaves for London. President Maithripala Sirisena left for London last night on a 2-day private visit, Presidential Secretariat sources said. The president will be attending his second daughter Tharani Sirisena's graduation ceremony. Startling turn in Lasanda's killing. Assassins Mobile identified. Mount Lavinia Magistrate Mohammad Sababdin yesterday ordered the General Manager of Sirasa TV and the Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation to hand over to the CID video footage of a motorcycle discovered by the Mount Lavinia police submerged in a canal in Atithia and believed to have been used by assassins in the killing of Sunday leader editor Lasanda Wickramadunga. With that, let's come to the end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to other newspaper highlights.